story, because, you know, if we just do an anthology with just the 5 of us, it'll still be a better season than whatever Moffat's currently done. I mean, like, who's up for that? And then just release it as, like, a little text download. This is the podcast. Yeah, that's what I was pretty expecting much from you, Matt.
No, I kind of
like the Cybermen build Mechagodzilla or something.
I was going to say I kind of more expected Doctor Who and Ultraman,
or a Sentai team of some kind.
Doctor Who and a Sentai team would be fucking hilarious, because you would have to play like the role of the Green
I'm actually getting ideas to write that one now.
If you just get the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th Doctors as a Sentai team.
No,
Bill, that's just you wanting to write that Green Lantern fic.
No. Although I do remember sitting down with a friend the other day and going, what would happen if various Doctor Who villains got a hold of lantern rings? We were just speculating, and it was wrong.
That was too much. No, haven't you seen that picture of the 11th Doctor wearing the 10 Black Lantern rings?
No, I have not.
And there's just a voice saying, "The Doctors of Gallifrey, rise."
No.
You would have like
No.
10 Black Lanterns for each personality.
The Master would make a perfect Black Lantern, considering how many times he's actually been permanently killed. You could like just rise him as a Black Lantern and keep him that way.
And then the crazy trader would have the greed ring.
The who?
Dinosaurs on a spaceship. Solomon.
Oh.
No, he'd have an orange.
No, he would be orange.
He'd have the orange ring.
White orange.
The green ring is will.
No, I said greed.
Oh.
Greed. Sorry, I
Avarice.
thought you said
Avarice.
green.
Yeah.
Avarice.
Talking colors, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's the orange ring. I think is greed.
Avarice, but yes. I think they make that. I think that's specifically so that green and greed don't get mixed up. I think that's why, or maybe just avarice sounds more dramatic.
Well, it's the Latin word for
And
it.
the crazy Spider Woman from the Christmas Star episode would have the rage one. Rachnos or whatever they were.
Arachnos. CD creation.
Shoot, lots of people could have that red ring. The Doctor, well, no, the Doctor's like Hal Jordan. He could pretty much wear all of them.
At various times, yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You could actually have different incarnations of the Doctor with a different ring each. I mean, if you think about it, 9 could wear a red ring.
There you go, Bill.
Yeah.
Get writing. There's your.
No, what I'm really thinking is 10's moments where he's just rage.
Yeah,
I'm just picturing him as a Red Lantern during those moments, like in The Idiot's Lantern.
9 was angry
Or the
time.
God damn it, it was Family of Blood.
Yeah,
Right.
the Fury of the Time Lord.
But you don't really see him like straight up rage and teeth and anger and Scottish.
No, that's
Not in that episode.
9's the one that's angry all
Which
the time.
episode was that?
Yeah.
I remember it did happen.
The main time when I really picture the Doctor raging and screaming, I think The Idiot's Lantern when Rose got defaced.
Even there, he just kind of brought himself into that cold fury mode.
Yeah, but there was raging and screaming and teeth for a while.
When
I think of
But yeah, the 9 is definitely more that kind of.
Think of 9 during Dalek, where he's just like, "Why don't you die?"
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You actually, if you watch that episode,
But
you
even
spit out of his
11 is like that when he runs into a Dalek and he's not expecting it.
No,
Like
dude,
Victory of the Daleks.
11 on Demon's Run.
That would have been more green, I think. There was even the whole subplot about how no blood was spilled and whatever.
The one where he's like literally holding himself back from ripping the general in half with his bare hands.
I thought the only one he almost did that to was River.
No, there is that bit where he's like sort of, you can see him hold himself back from actually punching the guy.
I mean, there was that whole point where he specifically was like, "I'm humiliating you for the rest of your life and the rest of eternity," and by you doing what that. But that's
Now,
about.
whatever happened to, yes, if you force me to make this decision, then I can't be called the doctor anymore. I don't know who I'm going to be. Because he's making those decisions now.
Mm.
And it's mostly River's fault. Now, getting back to the episode where we did it off for 10, the ending, I actually liked the ending.
Yeah.
It was emotional. There were only 2 minor glitches, one of which, of course, is what we mentioned earlier, is that he used a completely different law of temporal physics that didn't work with the rest of the episode.
Right.
And the other is, the doctor's leaving New York, River set the TARDIS in motion, and then they bring up the book of the doctor running through the park in New York. The fuck?
That was kind of confusing when I rewatched.
It would have been better if they never had the TARDIS grinding noise, that if River was just there checking stuff.
Mm.
And
It almost looks like that's
Wait.
what
River
what they
hijacked
had
the
planned,
TARDIS?
but then someone added it
What's
in.
that?
River hijacked
Actually,
the TARDIS?
that would be a great way to start the Christmas special. That River's going off with the TARDIS and the Doctor's stuck in Manhattan.
It'd be funny as hell.
River!
Yeah, I was gonna say, considering he doesn't really. Oh no, wait, no, he does end up back in the TARDIS, and then River's just sort of noticeably absent somewhere else in the TARDIS.
But
You know, you know what they should do? They should have 4
speaking-
episodes just set in the TARDIS.
All right, here's one thing we haven't really brought up yet. Here, what basically happens if we follow the entire logic of the ending, River goes to whatever time she goes to, writes a book, gives it to the Amy that already knows what's happened, meaning she's the Amy that she gives it to the Amy that they can never speak to again because she's in a
sends
fixed
it to
timeline.
Amy.
Right,
Doesn't
but I mean,
that there's physical contact.
but I mean, in some way, she knew how to get it to him, and she's basically just like, yeah, my husband would give anything in the world to know where you ended up, to ever see you again. But nope, I'm going to send it to somewhere where I know you'll get it. You'll be able to write a foreword and publish it, and somehow. I don't even know where to go with.
Down.
I broke. My sentence broke. The logic broke.
You were getting somewhere, but apparently you led yourself nowhere.
Yeah, it's like the episode could never have happened if Amy had not been sent back in time and River finding her. So,
which again is a gigantic bootstrap paradox.
Yeah.
Within a bootstrap paradox and a temporal divergence paradox.
And River doing God mode things that the Doctor can't.
Yes.
And a moving Statue of Liberty.
Well,
no, the Statue of Liberty can't move anymore because of the whatever number paradox it is, where they killed themselves and came back to life again.
If we want anyone to understand this, please make an attached flow chart. Because I can't keep track.
I'm trying to figure out how
the list of paradoxes
contained in all this, and I don't see how it is.
Say again?
I'm trying to figure out how the causal nexus is maintained in all this, and I don't see how it is. As far as I know, time just kind of snapped and went bye-bye, Egon. I don't think we got anything left.
It's that's what happens when you're in paradoxception.
Yeah,
you're too fond of that meme, Bill.
And I never did, but I guess just because I used it once, I'm just like, all right, And then what the hell did I see it in? Fuck, it was something recent that I saw it in. And I was just like that, I'm like, I don't even understand how it's a meme, but I think something in me just snapped and I just gave in. I'll remember it probably.
But as far as drama, but as far as emotional,
Egon's gone bye-bye.
Was good. I actually felt sad.
I actually almost cried.
I think I might have.
I came very close to crying, and I was like,
That was
"Wow,
such an over-emotional scene. You know,
Well,
I never
there was
understood the rules.
there
It's
was
like, dude, you have a time machine. Why can't you see them?
There was also the fact that there was also the fact that the actors were literally, trying not to break down into tears because it was the last episode of Together and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically it wasn't, but it was the last.
Okay,
it
so
was the
so I'm
farewell
just
scene.
so I'm just dead inside then.
It was Power of Three. It was Power of Three that they filmed last.
Oh, that's why they were saying about how the walking into the TARDIS at the end of because I was going to say I don't remember that happening in this episode. I remember it happening at the end of Power of Three.
Episode blocks they did not get filmed in the order they were aired. They did. I think they did 1, 2, 4. I think they did 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 5, 4. I think is how they got filmed.
Well, a Town Called Mercy was done pretty early because they had to go to Spain.
Yeah, but I think they did. I think they still did Asylum first, so it might have been, because Town Called Mercy was number 3 in the production block. So I think it was 1, 3, 2, 5, 4 is how they were filmed. Because it wasn't really the fact that they had to pack up everything, move to Spain. It was when they could reserve that particular town, because that town is used for a lot of Western, a lot of filming for Western towns and cities.
Not to go any farther off topic, but since I'm fairly certain, I'm not going to try and sit here and figure out which one. But the thing with the Inception, it was a crossover review of some sort, and I'm not going to go any deeper into it because that would be going too far off topic.
Okay.
We must go deeper.
No.
God damn it.
Sorry. So you threw it up there. I had to hit it.
If anything, this episode actually kind of felt like Power of Three in the fact that it felt like, despite the fact that stuff happened, it didn't really feel like much actually happened.
Yeah.
Well, that's because none of it ever happened.
I mean, I could have summarized it a lot faster than you, Matt, if I wasn't going to be going into raging while doing it. Because a lot of the episode, I would have just said a lot of stuff happens.
We don't care.
Stuff happens, which results in,
when I watched it the first time, I was like, wow, really? This is almost over? It's only felt like a couple of minutes. It's only felt like 15, 20 minutes or so.
Okay, no, seriously. In the space of a week, I will write you a better adventure of Doctor Who.
Just a sec, guys.
You're faster than me. I've been writing one story for Doctor Who. I've been working on now since 2006.
The thing is,
dude, let me read it. I'll get you back on track.
No, that's not the problem. The problem was I had a chapter 1 that expanded to 50 pages, and then I had to kill it.
Why?
Because it expanded to 50 pages. I realized it was its own fiction and left it there.
See, the thing is, if it weren't for the fact that this episode uses so many different like you said, so many different conflicting theories of temporal physics, so on, and the fact that the angels themselves are so broken in regards to any form of explanation, if it weren't for and the Statue of Liberty, if it weren't for those three things, this would be a really great episode. But if those three things kind of are problematic. See, River in this episode, if you took those three things away, I think her role is kind of, her
role is more sedate than in other episodes. She still says some things that grinds my gears.
But then she also expresses
the entire bit about how the TARDIS can't go into this time, but I can with my.
But that's only basically with the ending, right?
What's that?
Or is there?
Yeah, it was. It was in the middle of the episode. It was River talking to Rory.
Oh, about the fact that okay, I get what you're saying about about how she got there in the first place. Yeah, but
I do like the fact she does call out the doctor for acting like a 12-year-old.
That's what I was about to say, but then I let you talk instead of saying it.
Okay.
Yeah, she basically expresses the audience's viewpoint that the 11th Doctor is a 12-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she does it more than once.
I think so. Which leads to the question of why the hell did she marry him?
Right.
But
No, we saw the wedding of River Song, which, there wasn't really a priest, and there wasn't really a...
That never happened.
Priest.
It never happened. It was in an alternate universe that never existed.
Themselves as husband and wife. The hell. Well, actually, this is the first episode we've seen since then.
So much of what has happened in the past 3 seasons never happened. It's basically... Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you try to you could probably make a list more of things that never happened than things that happened.
Season 5 never happened.
Pretty much.
Series 6.
Chunks of it never happened.
Chunks of it never.
It's like large chunks of this episode now. And most of what never happened was written by Moffat. I'm kind of it's like he never appeared in Doctor Who. Everything never happened.
And you notice that River did seem to disapprove of the Doctor trying to write himself out of existence too.
Yeah. Probably because it makes it that much harder for her to find him. Which is, her own fault for refusing to go into TARDIS, but
Yeah. Although I do like the fact that she referred to both of them as psychopaths.
She did it in this episode again, or you're just saying in general? Oh no, you're right. No, never mind. This was the episode where I'm thinking of. Sorry, it's been a couple. That's the problem with watching it over a span of several weeks. Yeah, when she said one psychopath per TARDIS.
Yep, that was in this episode.
That was this episode. Yeah.
This is why I watched it.
I feel like she said it before though. That's probably why it's echoing in my head. I feel like she said it before.
I don't know, but it's interesting considering you think of the modern term of a psychopath is really synonymous with sociopath, which is the Doctor is not.
Right. See, that's why I know technically they're at least they're considered to have the same definition, but I still, I don't know. It just doesn't. Maybe just because we've used psychopath for so many other things, it just doesn't feel right to use psychopath and sociopath as synonyms.
It doesn't feel right to use it in terms of the Doctor to me. I mean, yes, he's crazy. He's mad.
Right.
But he's Willy Wonka mad.
Going back to the whole fact that that many of us agreed that Gene Wilder would have made an excellent Doctor.
Oh, hell yeah. However, Johnny Depp would not.
No. Don't.
I do remember
thankfully, he's not British, right?
No.
No, so thankfully we're not giving him
Neither
too
is
many
Gene Wilder.
He's not. You're right. Why do I get the impression? Yeah, maybe. So I do get the feeling that for some reason I had the feeling he was, but no one
He's
think of him.
Canadian, actually.
Ah.
indeed.
But no.
So Frankenstein is related to Willy Wonka. It all makes sense now.
If he had ever generated that Willy Wonka persona, and as a Time Lord, he would have made a kick-ass Doctor.
Yeah.
It's really who I would have probably gone to if I had been making the '96 Doctor Who movie.
Prove to me that Willy Wonka isn't a Time Lord.
I can't. Prove to me that James Bond isn't one.
He's Rassilon.
Yes, he's Rassilon. Willy Wonka is a Time Lord with the gloss elevator. He's just got to see through TARDIS.
Mary Poppins is a Time Lord.
Time Lady, actually.
She's the Ronnie.
God.
That was one
Wait.
hell of a weird regeneration.
So what you're saying? She just started her experiments with children and then
Yes.
moved on.
That would have been the Ronnie's version of the Valley Yard. Let's face it.
Either that, or like, it could have been the first. Could have been the first version of the Ronnie. She just started working with children, regenerated, and said, "Hey, let's experiment on these little fuckers." And then there's what's her name, Miss Frizz from the Magic School Bus. People have been claiming is a time lady.
Matt, you've now hurt my brain. Because in a way, it's plausible.
Wait, what did Matt say? Oh, the GLaDOS thing?
Yes.
Why is it?
Ronnie just happened to regenerate.
That's why. Okay, it's from something I haven't actually experienced. That's why I couldn't quite place where I knew that name from.
Portal. Play Portal.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've never played Portal. That's why I was like, it's familiar, but not familiar enough that I actually knew what it was without googling.
Yeah, but oh god, and that even made me think of another really bad fanfic idea.
Tell me. I'm game.
GLaDOS created in Rapture.
Don't know that one.
BioShock.
I've never played BioShock.
Fail.
Oh, you know,
Would you
who I
kindly
got
play
the idea?
BioShock?
You know who I got the idea? Who I got
Mind
the
you,
idea of being?
BioShock came out when my annual income was 0.
Oh shit! I just realized what review that was. It was the new Suede Linkara Juwario thing when they said boatception for a boat within a boat. Wow! I said I wouldn't return to that. But the reason that snapped in my brain just now is because I think I got the idea. The reason why Ash Ketchum has not aged in so many years, he's a Time Lord in exile.
No.
He's a 10.
He was a Time Lord that apparently built the
abomination. He's like an aspect of Nyarlathotep.
The Time Lord's equivalent of a 10-year-old in exile on Earth. That's why he keeps changing companions and traveling.
No. He's an eldritch abomination which feeds off the life energy of the girls he travels with.
Now, the inventor that created the Pokeball, that was a Time Lord.
No, that was Aperture Science.
Since when did they have bigger on the inside than on the outside?
Aperture Science, Monster Capture Division.
Well, then they must
seen
have
that comic.
Some Time Lord technology.
Have you not seen that comic?
Okay, we are way off track.
Are we? Are we though?
Our train was due in Pittsburgh. For some reason, we're in Miami.
Why am I in America?
Are there? Someone try and point me in the right. Are there Doctor Who adventures in places in America other than? Okay, never mind. We did just go to the West, so even though that was filmed in Spain, it was still America.
Has there ever been an adventure in South America?
I was going to say only Manhattan is in America, but yeah, even though they weren't filmed in America, Town Called Mercy was set in America.
Town Called Mercy was set in America.
Mexico, South America, Africa.
Yeah, we've never
Russia.
we've never seen them do.
Africa and Russia are not parts of America other than Manhattan.
We don't care. We're actually thinking about like where have they set it globally.
Yeah, we've never seen one. They have had an episode that took place in South America. It hasn't been since I think the first or second season, but there was the Aztecs.
Yeah, the Aztecs way in the first season. Yeah.
Australia.
Not in the main canon, but in at least some of the Big Finish novels took place in the vicinity of Brisbane.
India.
I know they did one in the Crusades in the Middle East, but I don't remember him ever going to India, though he was in Tibet once for Marco Polo.
Let's see.
Oh god, now what the hell happens to a Time Lord if you stick him in an animus? Sorry, you said the Crusades, my mind immediately went to Assassin's Creed. Let us inspect the genetic memory of the Time Lords.
Error.
I don't think the processor power is
All
good
right,
enough.
stories set in India and the Doctor Who universe. Apparently, dinosaurs on the spaceship counts. I don't know why.
What?
Other than that, there's only been novels, short stories, and audio dramas set in India.
Okay, Russia?
There's been a
Let's see.
couple of audio dramas that took place in Russia.
Germany?
At least one audio drama. I don't remember.
Let's Kill Hitler.
Let's Kill Hitler was in Germany. Very good.
There you go. Well, Italy has been done a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We had Vampires in Venice.
Where is Pompeii?
In Italy.
It's in Italy. Okay, I knew it was somewhere in that area. That's why. That's
Pompeii
France?
by Mount Vesuvius. It's like, I think, 100 miles.
Sweden.
No, we've never had an episode in Sweden.
Egypt?
Yes.
that crossover with the Next Generation started in Egypt.
One of the Doctor Who's companions was in Egypt in the audio books, and of course the dinosaurs in a spaceship started in Egypt.
Thinking now without trying to seem too pedantic, other nations. China.
Marco Polo.
Japan.
None I can remember have been in Japan. If it caught on better in Japan, then they probably would have had a couple episodes over there, and that would have been interesting.
Looks like an audio drama was set in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
Cybermen Samurai.
It was mentioned that
apparently in Bad Wolf they visited Kyoto.
Yes, I was just about to mention that. The Ninth Doctor mentioned that they were just coming back from 15th century Kyoto when they were caught in the transit beam that took them to the game station.
Should have been 14th century according to the TARDIS index file.
I didn't think it was 14th century. I thought it was.
It says here they visited Kyoto, Japan in 1336.
I'll have to rewatch that episode. My first season box that's over there too.
The war games apparently soldiers from Japan were abducted for use in the war games.
Yeah, but that technically took place on another planet, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Vietnam.
No, we have never dealt with Vietnam.
Oh, that's wait. Oh, never mind. That's they screwed up. They said that a Torchwood episode was a Doctor Who TV adventure. Not the same thing.
No.
Actually, yeah, this article is a whole bunch of things.
How many Doctor Who adventures were set on the moon?
Well, they must be considering it to be the Doctor Who universe.
Mm-hmm. But normally this site distinguishes. In this case, they're listing any Torchwood or Doctor Who TV adventure as TV.
They're also mentioning the audio dramas and stuff too, so it's the whole universe.
Yeah, but each link usually distinguishes like whether it's TV, comic, Torchwood, prose, audio.
Might be a few in Ireland. I don't think any of it ever happened in Canada.
They really
Type in
should.
Canada and see what comes up.
Who? The entire population of Springfield.
Canada's been mentioned,
but never gone to. Which is odd, since they distribute Doctor Who in Canada, so it should.
And, think of all the things you could have hidden in the ice.
Yeah, well, they haven't actually done Sweden either. They've done,
Aren't there actual Martians?
They've done Antarctica at least twice.
Really? I wasn't aware of that.
10th Planet was in Antarctica, and I think the first part of the Seeds of Death was? Or was it the Seeds of Doom? I get those two confused.
I'll tell you in 1 second.
The Fourth Doctor one.
The Seeds of Doom.
Okay.
Seth, wasn't he like the time vampire thing?
Ooh.
Because there was one of those.
Actually, there might have been a Doctor Who episode that happened in Australia.
Let me see, Australia.
It's one of the missing ones, if it is. But it wasn't called Australia because it happened in the future.
The monarch abducted people from Australia, but it doesn't say that the Doctor went there. There's things about the Doctor meeting Australians, but it doesn't actually say if they're in. I don't think they actually go to Australia. It doesn't say if they go to Australia or not. Oh, wait. The third Doctor's TARDIS materialized in the Australian... Oh, it's a comic. The third Doctor visited Australia in a comic. So I'm mostly skipping comics, but I didn't notice that.
The one I'm thinking of is the one where Patrick Troughton played both himself and the main bad guy. Yeah, it's not complete.
Do you remember the name at all?
I'm trying to remember it.
Could it be 4 to Doomsday, maybe?
No.
No?
That's a 5th Doctor episode.
Yep. I didn't click it until after I asked.
Hang on. I will find it.
Okay.
The Enemy of the World.
I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that on the Australia page.
Yeah, well, let me see if I can find out.
Enemy. Oh, here we go.
The second
In 2017. Yep.
Are enjoying
2017. Only 5 years to wait.
So
But the world ends in 2012.
For the last time, the Aztecs just went on like a hunger strike. Yeah.
So yes, they have.
That cough was really well timed.
Australia. It was in the Enemy of the World. I took me a moment to remember that.
Holy shit, Australia had a space elevator built according to the waters of Mars. That means that they've already passed the technology of 2050. I think it's 2050, right? Or is it 2010?
Well,
one of the Space Odyssey sequels.
Speaking from a factual standpoint, Japan is fully capable of building a lunar base if the world was to fund
a
them.
lunar base, but a space elevator.
Sorry, a lunar base fully staffed by robots.
The thing is, if Japan made a lunar base fully staffed by robots, they would be sex bots and all kinds of weird shit.
No, it'd be Skynet.
Tentacle bots and...
Well, don't be so stereotypical, stupid, ignorant yank.
No, it's not just... I've seen the things Japan... I've seen the things Japan makes. They're not all stable. It's because vaginas are not allowed in Japan.
And America is stable, really?
No, we're not. No.
No country is.
I keep every time we go through a general election here like we are now, I'm thinking we're probably not going to have another one.
It's like another year and you can't vote Cthulhu or Dunkelzahn. I'm disappointed, even though I can't vote in your country.
Of course you can't vote for Dunkelzahn. The awakening never occurred.
Not yet, or so you think.
Oh, Tegan was Australian.
What's that?
Mm-hmm.
Tegan came from Brisbane.
Yes, but she was in England at the time.
Ah.
We never actually went to Brisbane to see her family.
Like, where the hell did Jack come from?
Jack came from another planet, but is described as American because of his accent, and he just goes along with it. But he was basically from a 51st century colony of Earth.
Okay, thank you.
Although it's never
What
really
planet?
explained. He's from some kind. What was it? The Boshang Peninsula,
Something to that effect, yeah. But
where he got the name Face of Bo.
yeah.
Boshang Peninsula sounds like one of the core planets from Firefly.
It does. It really does.
It's like, does Blue Sun have a lot of factories there?
They named the core planets in Firefly? I don't remember
Some
them
of
naming
them
any
they did.
planets.
They did.
Oh, no, I know they named some planets, but for some reason I can't. I guess I just.
The Firefly solar
planet
system is
names.
fucking huge.
Right. Yeah, I know that. Especially if it really. I kind of. Every time they say one system with a lot of planets, I kind of just assume they mean galaxy.
No, because there's no faster than light travel in Firefly.
Sure. But then, well, if you can get from the outer
The
systems to
Firefly
the.
universe is physically impossible.
It's regressed tech.
It's regressed tech, but I mean, just in the scope of having one sun with about 70, 80 planets around it.
Even if we're talking about like a 3D sphere in orbits,
it's still
like the orbital wobble must be insane.
It's not. That particular solar model would break down.
Yeah.
So it's physically impossible according to all astrophysics laws. And it's something Joss Whedon didn't think of when he wrote the series.
Hence,
Luckily, only like what 10 planets are actually named.
Hence why my brain
Also,
automatically
a lot of the stuff happens on
system to galaxy.
It was
also a lot of the stuff happens on the moons because all the moons are terraformed as well.
Yeah, it's possible that it makes a lot more sense if you think.
Which it really only works if you take like the moon of Jupiter and turn it into a sun.
It only really works if you actually take planetary moons and have them consider them planets.
Yeah,
that's really the only way it's even plausible to.
Yeah,
it made a very interesting.
Well, my point is,
the Firefly, or excuse me, the Serenity role-playing game came out. Let me tell you.
It was Jupiter. No, it wasn't. Was it Jupiter itself that turned into a sun? Or fuck, it's been so long since I read those books.
2000.
I don't know why, but yeah.
It was
but Firefly. Firefly. I'm saying sort of setting a StarCraft 2.
Our train's next stop is like Rio.
Let's see if we can hit Moscow.
All right. Any other points about Angel's Take, man? Anybody know what Flynn would be bringing up right about now?
No, I have no idea what Flynn would be bringing.
The angels have pretty wings.
I think going over. I think right now he'd be arguing the point on how Power of Three fits perfectly with this as one big two-parter episode, which you were going to.
Does anybody see that?
No, I don't.
Oh yes, but I do want to bring up my exact opposite of that, because there's the whole thing where Power of Three was supposed to be about them coming to terms with what the Doctor being able to respect their lives and then choosing to stay with the Doctor while still going on about with things, and then they're basically by completely arbitrary means, by choice of the angels, and forced to break up from the Doctor. So it's basically saying, yeah, all that character progress you were trying to make, it doesn't matter. We're just arbitrarily breaking it off. And that's why Power of Three is essentially filler in the context of this episode.
Or dark irony.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. And if anything that works, they set them up that they're like, oh, should we keep going around with the Doctor? And it's like, well, yeah, let's keep doing that. And then they die the next episode. Cruel irony.
Supposed to die.
Rory's father's gonna be pissed.
Moffat wrote them to die in this episode, and then rewrote it because he wussed out.
This actually kind of makes me hope that either in probably not in the Christmas special, but in like the next episode after that he goes back to Earth and has a confrontation with Rory's dad.
That's something that's been bothering me the more Classic Who I watch. Except for the third Doctor, who had reason. Did any other Doctor spend near the amount of time in modern day Earth as any of the new Who Doctors?
No.
Because I know no doctor that I've ever actually watched episodes of has.
Well, the
First
new
Doctor-
Doctor has taken Earth as his new home world.
Yeah.
But he never needed a homeworld before, did he? I mean, he
But-
never had to go back. He never kept going back to Gallifrey. At least,
He was in exile, but Gallifrey was still there.
yeah. But it's like it wasn't like he was just like, all right, I want to go home, so I'm going to go to Gallifrey. No, I want to go home, so I go to the TARDIS.
Well, I think it's now
Like,
it's just like
even the seventh Doctor refers to himself as homeless.
Hobo Doctor.
Well, Russell tried to establish a pattern. And that was future episode, past episode, modern day episode,
Right.
in that order.
But Moffat's not following that. Yet at the same time, keeps visiting. Maybe that's why he keeps leaving the ponds behind. But then I don't know.
Hang on. Which one of them was responsible for the adipose?
We really need to get a companion again that's not from Earth, and Jack doesn't count.
What was that question,
Who the hell came up with the adipose?
Russell?
I'm not surprised.
Jadoon?
Russell?
God damn it.
You said the Dune.
Jadoon.
Oh, I was like the Dune. I'm like, if we're going into Dune territory, then
The
Actually,
space.
Doctor Who on June would work.
he who controls
the
spice
TARDIS
controls
eaten
the
by
universe.
Shai Hulud.
The doctor's like, no more spice.
The TARDIS eaten by a Shai Hulud, so yeah.
Speaking of which, I have a feeling if Lucas goes to write a better Doctor Who adventure, he's probably going to write a Doctor Who 40K crossover.
No, that wouldn't work. I'm actually looking at the fanfic thing I wrote, which is like 12 episode season.
I actually have a Doctor Who Anarchy Online crossover planned.
Dude, we got to compare notes because this is going to be fucking hilarious. And Bill, you can't just cross 40k over with things because most of the time it's like, oh look, it's something new alien we don't know. Shoot it in the face.
But lots of species do that when the Doctor shows up anyway.
Okay, yeah, but unfortunately, yeah, the Doctor would just be horrifically killed by the Inquisition. True.
Real,
Unless
that didn't work very well for Sylvester McCoy.
Actually, it depends. Would the TARDIS count as using the warp? Because if it does, then the Chaos Gods just take him and play with him. Oh no! Sorry. He's a greater demon of Zinch. In 40k, there's a god of change.
The Black Guardian?
No. There's a god of change, so as long as things keep happening and changing, and that's what the Doctor does. He sets things in motion.
So River must be this god's avatar.
Don't worry, I'm just confusing all of you. Moving on.
Yeah, I'm not a big Warhammer.
And Angels Take Manhattan.
Fail!
Anything else to do before we go on to final thoughts?
What else
Comments?
can be an angel? Big
Anything.
statue of Jesus in Rio de Janeiro.
Can you break off chunks of an angel and make it into a
No.
miniature?
No, you're not seeing what's going to be happening in season 7.
Rio de Janeiro.
No.
Jesus
that's
as an
Sphinx.
angel.
Angel Sphinx.
Shoot, that's already on Facebook.
Yeah, and wasn't Angel Statue of Liberty on Facebook before Moffat did it?
Yeah.
It's where he's getting his ideas.
Then again, they're pretty much ever since Angels Take Manhattan. I've seen literally every famous statue has become an angel on Facebook.
It's all Photoshop, man.
I'm just kind of waiting for the Eiffel Tower or the
Abe
Leaning
Lincoln.
Tower of Pisa to become an angel, or the Empire State Building because it's been everything else in Doctor Who.
They should do another American episode, have it in Washington, D.C., and do it with the Lincoln Memorial. Or Mount
Oh
Rushmore.
yeah,
Mount
that would
Rushmore.
be amazing.
I think an angel-fied Lincoln Memorial would be terrifying.
And they would have to fight the Statue of Liberty for food.
You will
It'd be funny if he
emancipate
was-
the statues.
Pretty much. By the way, if you hadn't caught, I was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, guys. Final thoughts. Do we want to even try to rate this episode? Rate the season so
Randy.
far. Even we're at the season midpoint.
I think Randy's best qualified to judge.
Or do we want to talk about the Ponds leaving / Williamses? Because this is the first episode where they're really called the Williamses.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I liked the characters of Amy and Rory. I especially liked Rory. I did not like him at first.
Yeah, I agree. Rory grew on me after he died and then stopped existing and then became plastic.
Yeah, he started to really gel or somewhere in series 6. As much as I hate the plot of the series, Rory's character really started appealing to me.
Right around the time when he stood there asking, "Should I? Do you want me to repeat the question?" as Cybermen ships exploded in the background.
Even before that,
I think that's probably my favorite Rory scene still. But
yeah, there's several epic ones, and even earlier this season in Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, where you just see that Rory is now pretty better.
Rory was probably the highlight of that episode for me because I didn't like that episode very much. A lot of people liked it. I just still, I mean, maybe if I watch it again, I might. Yeah.
Yeah, Rory does really good in that episode. So does Rory's dad. That was really a gem there.
Yeah.
For a moment there, I thought we'd have another Bernard Crimmins.
I just wish, if they took 2 characters out of that, and, well, shit, even if you took 4 out, because we didn't really need the obnoxious robots either, take the 4 most obnoxious characters out of that episode, you could have built a really good episode.
To be honest, I think it was probably got more of a giggle because I actually recognized those actors from TV.
Okay,
so it might have been a regional thing, for the
like for
target
example,
audience.
the guy who played the big game hunter, he's the Inspector Lestrade in the new Sherlock, and the guys who played the robots are a well-known comedy duo. So yeah,
so it was
David Mitchell and Samuel Webb. So yeah.
Wow, really? I did not pick that up. Holy shit!
Did you not pick that up?
I don't know why, but holy hell!
It took me a couple of minutes.
Recognize those two.
It took me a couple of minutes before I recognized David Mitchell's voice, and then it suddenly clicked in my head, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
So
I
guess it's because I haven't seen much of their stuff lately, so I guess it just didn't click.
So it's
but no. There's a lot of that regional stuff. Like during the Christmas special, they had Bill Bailey on it. So yeah.
But really, so
I don't think they had Stephen Fry yet.
What's that?
I'm surprised I haven't had Stephen Fry yet. That'd be
he
awesome.
wrote an episode.
Did he?
I think so.
Do your magic thing.
Wikipedia.
Yeah.
We're focusing only on new.
Era.
He could play a bumbling general.
It's just kind of touching because it's like all these people who grew up watching Doctor Who, and like they're like even if extras, that's still something. It's just one of those like little meta things. She's like, oh, that's sweet.
He voiced somebody in an official webcast.
Okay.
He wrote the initial script for episode 11 of series 2 of the revived. So what episode is that?
That's Dave. That's
and
Dave,
Russell T Davies decided it would be. Oh, it was Wait a second. Oh, it was okay. No, it was changed and replaced to become Fear Her. So that's not what he actually wrote, but it was either changed.
Okay, I remember it was on the Doctor Who website that he had been hired to write an episode.
Right. He wrote an episode and then it was replaced with Fear Her.
Okay.
Wait, because I know the first episode.
It was never made as Fry could not find the time to make the necessary alterations to the script.
Okay, he was
no details of the story have been released.
So if he ever gets the time to clean it up, send it in. Moffat could always, sandwich it in.
Or butcher it.
Or butcher it. Well, no. It's usually, during the Moffat, it's usually the episodes from the non-regular cast that are really shining. I can't wait to see what Neil Gaiman comes up with in the second part of the series.
Oh, is he back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in for another one.
Cool.
My only reservation about this, which is going to tie into what I've said about his previous episode, is that there's been so much in this season so far that only works if it's set up for later in the season, to the point where I feel we need the whole season in order to wrap up the loose ends, and I know whatever he writes will probably be completely standalone in the Davies style, and that's my only reservation about it. I expect something good, but I'm afraid it'll hurt what else we need to come out of the season in order for the season to be acceptable.
No, I don't feel that way. Doctor Who has never been set up to be constant plot development storyline
until Moffat took over. It's been that way since then.
Even then, it really shouldn't be. And as I've said before, anything that detracts from what Moffat's writing, I tend to be fond of, because I've not been fond of really any of his overarching plot arcs at this point.
Did we ever figure out why the TARDIS was exploding?
No. He has never covered that.
Although I've seen one theory circulating that Rassilon survived the end of time and
that's all
caused the TARDIS to blow itself up.
That's all a theory.
It is all a theory, but it is a slightly amusing one.
I'm not wondering, with like all this stuff being done in America, they're going to start using more American actors as well for the extras parts.
Oh, they already have. I mean, we had Ben Browder in A Town Called Mercy. And Ben Browder is well known in science fiction America.
Okay, so let's open the betting. How long before Joss Whedon writes an episode?
Oh,
and how long before Nathan Fillion?
God, I've been waiting for ages for Joss Whedon to write an episode.
If Joss Whedon writes an episode, we can be 90% sure that the main female companion will die to save everybody.
Wash was not a female companion, though.
No, but as far as the Serenity cast goes, he was the chick.
True.
I'm sure Kaylee would appreciate that.
No, because I'm just thinking of all the relatively decent parts that were played by the slightly more.
Where's Paul McGann from?
I mean, huh?
Where's Paul McGann from?
He's
I don't know, but I know Simon Pegg was in Doctor Who.
Yes, he played the editor.
Huh?
He played the editor.
Yeah, the executor or whatever.
No, his name was the editor.
Yeah.
In that episode with that first took place on Satellite 5.
The fuck was that big blob on the ceiling anyway?
I don't know.
Oh shit! The Great Geographus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I just refer to it as Max. It's easier to remember.
Possibly a puppet.
Paul McGann's from Liverpool.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh no, he was born. Okay, I see it now. He was born in Surrey. Although his family moved to Liverpool when he was a young child. Okay.
Yep.
If I had read the first two paragraphs before jumping around the article, I would have seen that.
So do you still think
he was
that?
Born in Kensington.
Oh.
Not sure where you're looking at.
The TARDIS index file.
I'm looking on Wikipedia.
It's
So at least, I'm just asking if this group still has the same opinion. Love and Monsters still worst Doctor Who episode?
Worse?
I would still stand by that.
In the entire run of the show, or just in the new series?
Either.
I don't know. It might come into conflict with the gunfighters.
Unfamiliar with that one. Yeah.
It's the first attempt of Doctor Who to do the Wild West, and it failed miserably.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. If Red Wolf can do a better Wild West show than you can, then that's pretty bad.
Oh yeah. It was panned as being horrible. And while Love and Monsters was generally the villain was terrible.
A lot of people completely hate the hero too.
I don't. I like the whole narrative bit. I actually
Played by Mark Warren, is it? I can't remember his name.
I only hate him when he's
But he's been because I really liked him in the Hustle, and he played a pretty good Dracula.
To be fair, I only hate him when he's speaking.
Okay.
However, he is speaking virtually the entire episode.
Yeah.
So
I actually like that whole concept of the narrative.
the concept I liked, but the execution it alternated between being boring, annoying, and mocking.
It is probably the campiest episode of the new series.
Also, I kind of feel like they were going somewhere with Moaning Myrtle's character, and they never really made it anywhere.
Wait,
sorry, I don't know the actress's name, but
yeah, she was Moaning.
We all know her as Moaning Myrtle anyway.
It's like we've just gone on a tangent onto Harry Potter all of a sudden. It's like,
no, sorry, I don't know her.
No, the actress.
Are we pointing out plot holes now?
Harry Potter movies played his girlfriend in that episode. Same actress, pretty much putting on the same personality.
I think she had a lot more. I think she had more personality in Love and Monsters than.
She was. I remember her from the Taming of the Shrew modern version the BBC did during one of their Shakespeare Retold series,
which didn't make it over here, so we haven't seen it.
Yeah. Billie Piper was in one of those, actually. No, she was in the Canterbury Tales.
Really? She would have fit better in the Taming of the Shrew as the Shrew.
She got her own successful series now, so whatever.
No, I'm sorry. I
say successful.
I'm not that fond of Rose Tyler. No, I didn't. I liked her at first. She just got a little bit overblown because RTD kept going back to her.
Before we talk about Rose, before we talk about Rose, we've talked about Rory, but we didn't talk about the big, supposed star, the Doctor's favorite person in the world in this incarnation, so on and so forth. Amy Pond / Amy Williams / Amelia Pond. So, I've heard her being accused of being basically the same three notes, and that Moffat couldn't or wouldn't write any more into her. Does anybody? I don't think I necessarily agree with that, but I see where it's coming from.
I see where it's coming from too. If anybody has had the least amount of character evolution over the course of this, it's been Amy.
It is, but she's definitely had character evolution from the girl who, was so stressed out she decided to make out with the Doctor the night before her wedding to the girl who was like, you know what, I could travel with you and see the universe for the rest of my life, or I can say fuck the universe and find my husband. Which, there's of course, there's always the questionable area of, revolving her life around a man, but at the same time, she's generally, even though she doesn't, despite her enjoyment of skirts, she's generally worn the pants in the relationship anyway, so I kind of would go past, skip that criticism.
If anything with Amy, I'm just glad that she wasn't a love interest for the Doctor.
Yes,
really, because I seem to that's the main reason I like Donna more than Martha or
that was
or
my
Rose,
main actually.
Donna is probably my vote for the best companion of the new series.
Mine too.
Over Rory.
Even over Rory, I liked Donna better. I liked Evolution.
I liked Donna for I grew into her. But as to Amy, I would say actually my biggest criticism of her is the way that they kept trying to act like she was a love interest, even though they knew she wasn't. When they kept hinting, is it the Doctor or Rory? That grew old after the second or third time they did it, and they just kept doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it had a really good moment in A Good Man Goes to War, it was done well there, but it was done throughout the entire season, and it had grown old way before that. The only reason it was so good was because of basically of of Arthur Darville's performance while she was doing that monologue is the only reason why it was such a good.
Yeah, Arthur Darvill
so good in that event.
I didn't think much of him as an actor either when he started, and he has really, really, really surprised me over the last.
Apparently, he was nervous as hell when they first started filming the season 5.
Who wouldn't be?
Yeah, I agree. But oh, that's right. That was in the video that Thomas was sharing with us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a British institution, arguably a worldwide institution.
That Matt Smith had never heard of before he was offered the role.
And they basically threw out the entire cast, most of the production team, and replaced them.
Yeah.
And here he's supposed to come in and know what the heck he's doing.
Basically, Moffat was the only one left from, the main one left from before, right? He was there from season 1.
Moffat and Briggs.
Ah. Would have been nice if they at least kept, I don't know, Barrowman or somebody around.
It would have been nice. I would have loved to have seen an 11th Doctor and Jack scene. But
and then, of course, Elizabeth Sladen stayed.
Yeah, but really it was only the 11th Doctor going into the Sarah Jane adventures.
Right.
And now, of course, she's dead.
Yeah.
Which, considering the amount of Doctor Who actors from the 70s and early 80s that have died of cancer in the last few years.
Are you saying that the TARDIS is radioactive?
I'm thinking more of the BBC sound studio in that era, but possibly.
Yeah. Like the TARDIS could actually have been real in that era and it was just radioactive. Which kind of gives us Watchmen parallels.
But it's I had a list here somewhere, but it's like we lost, Nicholas Courtney,
right,
and Elizabeth Sladen, both to cancer. Janet Fielding has been diagnosed with cancer.
When did John Pertwee die? He died, right?
Yeah, he died of he died of a heart attack, I think.
Do you know when what year it was?
It was like 95, 96.
Oh, so not long after Dimensions in Time, then.
Yeah, it was around the same time that the Doctor Who movie came out.
Oh, okay.
I know that it was either just before or just after.
So 96-ish.
Yeah. May 96. So shortly after.
Okay.
And yeah, he died, I think, of a heart attack in America. Heart attack.
Thank you, Matt, for saying exactly what came to mind. This reaction.
Same.
What was that?
The way you said "in America" as an afterthought, was just like it passed through everyone's mind. In America.
It's weird. Other than Hartnell, every other Doctor that's died, or every other actor that's played the Doctor has done so in America.
So America is just cancer to Doctor Who actors.
Apparently, I mean, John Pertwee was vacationing in Connecticut when he died of a heart attack, and
Would be Connecticut.
Patrick Troughton was here for a convention. Which, has to, as someone that actually does.
Wait, are you counting? Where did Peter Cushing die?
Actually, I don't know where Cushing died.
He died in 1994.
He died in Kent, so no. He also died of cancer, by the way, but that was a while ago. But as someone who works convention staff, I can tell you how much it must have been a nightmare for them in their guest relations and PR department to have the guest relations aide come downstairs and tell them that Patrick Troughton died overnight. No, I mean he was there. He was there like one of our guests for our convention, Matt. As far as I'm aware, that's pure crap.
He died of a heart attack after ordering breakfast, is all Wikipedia says.
Yeah. He just ordered breakfast, so he was probably just getting dressed for the day. And he died instantly of a heart attack.
And it was the day after the Doctor Who screening that he'd requested, so...
Mm-hmm. Actually, yeah. No, I think he died on the Saturday it was supposed to show.
Well, Wikipedia just says on the next day, and then he says it died the 28th. So, but wait a second. No, this is fucked up because it says Friday was the 27th, and then it says Saturday was the event, and then it says the next day was the 28th.
No,
so they're adding an extra day somewhere.
On that day, he was looking forward to the next day, which was Saturday. Which it says he was looking forward to a belated birthday celebration, which was planned.
Okay, I think they could have either worded that a little better or put it in a different order.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. That makes sense. So yeah, so he might have been in the Doctor outfit getting ready for that, but there's no. Either way, it doesn't explain either here.
Yeah, I would think he'd have waited till after breakfast to get into that outfit.
I mean, some people just don't want to greet room service in their robe or pajamas.
Well, I think greeting room service in a dressing gown would have been okay, or a big freaking robe. But you wouldn't want to get I don't know what he ordered for breakfast, but I don't think he'd want to get it all over that outfit.
Right.
Mm.
Still, you don't want to go up with crumbs or bacon grease or whatever on your outfit, especially since I don't think he could replace that easily anymore. So I doubt he was in the outfit when he died. But still, just imagine the sheer horror of that con staff on Saturday morning to discover.
I wonder if they still did the screening.
I don't know. I have no. It says it's the Magnus. It was their second convention. Jesus.
Oh God.
Yeah, and I noticed that con doesn't exist anymore either.
Now I have to look it up to see how many they've done.
Anyway.
I can't even find any references to that convention.
Other than the Patrick Troutman article?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It was not linked. That con died, I think, after that. You don't want to be known as the con that killed Patrick Troughton.
Well, there's a site there's a Yahoo group erected in memorial to the con. It's just a group. It probably doesn't have much information.
It at least had a third one.
Read on fanlore.org.
So, what would you guys put in an order of sort of so far best to worst order of episodes? Where would you put Angels Take Manhattan in that?
Of this season?
Down.
Of this season or overall?
Out of the stuff we've covered so far.
Out of the stuff we've covered thus far.
So we've got
the best episode thus far, Town Called Mercy.
I think we've been unanimous on that so far.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, let Lucas go first because he didn't go last week.
Yeah.
Well, it was the first time I actually able to see up here.
Yeah. So let's put Lucas on the spot and let him put all 5 episodes in order.
check the names with me quickly again, because I can't remember them.
Okay, in order from the first episode to the 5th episode, they are Asylum of the Daleks,
Yeah.
Dinosaurs on a Spaceship,
Yep.
Town Called Mercy, Power
Yep.
of 3, Angels Take Manhattan.
Okay.
Name them in order of good to bad. Go.
Mercy, Dinos, Asylum, Angels, 3.
Am I the only person who's watching this season that ranks dinosaurs all the way at the bottom?
Yes.
Asylum got knocked down because they wasted an opportunity to bring back some really cool Dalek characters.
I had some other issues with the episode, which if you listen.
Yeah, we had a lot of issues between the two of us.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm like, this is a prison where you have the Daleks that other Daleks fear, and I'm like, you can have so many villains come from here, and they just blew it
Yeah,
up.
well, my biggest thing is that whole asylum shouldn't have existed in the first place, since all of those Daleks should have been destroyed when the Time Warp got rid of all the Daleks.
Ha ha ha! Trying the Inquisitor General. He's like, that thing's the Chuck Norris of Daleks.
Shoot, the special weapons Dalek was just sitting there inert.
Mm-hmm. That was my other issue, is the fact that they touted all these Daleks and never used them.
Yep.
And that Moffat had pulled, more Dalek technology, like the path web, out of his ass.
Yeah. Mercy I enjoyed, although I'm still trying to figure out when the Doctor was referencing that 2 of them survived, did he mean himself and the cyborg or 2 scientists?
2 scientists, because one of them was killed in the pre-credit sequence.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, one of them was killed in the pre-credit sequence, and then...
And he said the only one left was the Doctor.
And that was the Doctor that was, holed up there.
Okay, because I wasn't able to catch it, the pre-credit sequence.
Yeah, that was done in the pre-credit sequence.
I think there were 13 Magnum Opus cons.
Really, they managed to survive another 10 plus conventions after that.
There was definitely a 10. One site references 1 through 13 existing, but can't give any information on them.
Okay.
But yeah, Dinos I enjoyed mostly for fleshing out the Doctor's side adventures more. And just all the crazy side characters he actually knows. So, which I like that they take some time for that, but even though they sort of they deserve their own episodes, really.
They would have needed it because it made no sense the way that they were put in there.
Well, I've got a personal thing where I don't mind where you see snapshots of a separate story, that just slightly crosses over this main one.
Yeah.
It's like why I like the Red Line movie, the anime movie, even though I should fucking hate it because that's really weird of plot. But anyway, so Power of 3 I absolutely just loathe. I just hate it. No, I don't mind Angels as much as Power of 3. I absolutely despise it. Power of 3, I was like knuckling myself in the head going, okay, we get it, you're the goddamn Planeteers, with our powers combined, all that shit. You're doing the Care Bear hugs, just get on with it, for fuck's sake.
As a group, I think our favorite parts of Power of 3 were Unit.
Yeah.
Would that be about right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You like that, Matt. The rest of us, no. I have to give a special like for the cube that was doing the chicken
dance.
Yeah.
Although
I'm just glad it never came up again. It was just a nice gag.
Yeah.
No, the best unit line from the newer seasons always has been, finally guns that work. That's the best unit line I've ever heard so far.
Well, now with the new unit, it's kicking alien ass for science.
Yeah, we shall. They finally got bored with them blowing up their shield helicarriers and shit.
Under RT Day, unit was shield. They were interchangeable.
Oh, that's right. Oh, That's right. Yeah, that episode still needs to go up tonight, where we had that whole conversation about Samuel L. Jackson as leader of unit. That needs to happen, BBC.
They
No
can't
joke.
afford him.
You mean he fucking changed his face again?
Small steps, small steps, small steps. I mean, we've got Neil Gaiman. From there, we can build up to Joss Whedon, maybe getting Nathan Fillion involved.
Yeah, and I want to see Christopher Lee, Patrick Stewart, and Sean Connery.
No, Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen, yeah, that would be
Have them-
that would also be a good one.
Oh, those guys should be the Council of New Time Lords or something. The Council of New Gallifrey.
Or even yet, make them all the new Guardians.
That would be an expensive episode.
It'd be an
Well, Annie.
fucking thought.
They would have to blow the whole season episode. I mean, his whole season budget on that episode.
Yeah, but you know, how many of those will just do it because their kids or their grandkids are asking them to?
Yeah, or
Christopher Lee would do it just to establish even more of his geek cred.
well, yeah. There's also the fact that how many franchises are left that Peter Cushing was in that Christopher Lee wasn't? So he has to catch up.
God.
I mean, he got his Star Wars appearance in, so now he's got to get his Doctor Who appearance in.
Yeah, and you died before you could get another push, you bitch. Yeah.
Christopher Lee as Miguel in the Captain America movie.
So who's doing the next ranking?
I'll do it. In
Yeah,
order
go.
for me, starting out, Town Called Mercy. I'm thinking that's pretty universal. Also, my number 2 is Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, which, by the way, is a distant 2, because that's hovering near mediocre for me. Shortly, just below that is Power of 3, which, yes, the unit scenes brought that up a bit from where it would be. And fighting for the bottom is Asylum of the Daleks and Angels Take Manhattan, with Angels, I think, edging out Asylum for the absolute bottom because it has River. Yep.
Okay.
Mercy.
Wow. Number 1, but you can't get you don't give a fuck about the name.
You've already fucked up and you're on number 1.
The Daleks have no concept of a town called Mercy.
Be controversial. Say angels.
You know what? I don't.
You only got Angels, Asylum, and 3 left, Matt. So really, you're in a 3-way fight for the cellar, aren't you?
See, there's kind of a. Well, I'll explain my list when I get to it. Yeah, they blew a lot of chances with that episode.
And part of the disappointment is they hyped it so much.
Yeah. I agree. This was Eleven's first Dalek adventure because Victory doesn't really count.
Why doesn't Victory count?
Because it's not really. It has Daleks, but it's not a fight with. It's subterfuge by the Daleks. The Daleks just want the Doctor to say who they are. They're not actually out to kill him, fight him, maim him, any of that stuff that they normally try to do.
But space Spitfires.
Yeah, there was the whole epic fight at the end of it.
Yeah. That the Doctor sat out and his companions sat out.
Well, That was him playing a master orchestrator back before he turned into a man-child. It was back when I had hope for Matt Smith's character.
Thomas?
One would be A Town Called Mercy as, well, duh. 2 dinosaurs. 3 is actually kind of hard, I must say, which is weird, but yeah. It's like,
It wasn't
which
hard
is the least, yeah, it kind of comes down, like, the first 2 are quite obvious for me because, like, with dinosaurs, it's one of those ones that you shouldn't really put too much thought into it because it's just one of those episodes that's kind of there to have fun.
It's mostly similar. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, but with the other 3, it's kind of like, which do you hate less, or which, like, could you, like, forgive because of 1 or 2 things? So, 3, I'm actually going to have to say Angels, purely because the ending almost made me cry. That's the only reason that's going in number 3. Then Asylum, then last would be Power of 3, because Power of 3 is the only one I've noticed that's actually kind of frustrated me. Because I remember during that podcast, I was actually probably the most vocal I've ever been, just because it actually really frustrated me that absolutely nothing happened in that episode.
Yeah, for me though, that was a plus because if nothing was happening, it means that we weren't getting mired by crap that were being thrown at us by Moffat.
But yeah, if anything, I just had it at the bottom because it was the only one that I seemed to get pissed off about. All the others I was either kind of on the fence about, or they were just, I turned my brain off so I could enjoy it, or whatever. So.
All right, Bill, you're next.
All right, my turn. A Town Called Mercy, number 1. Next episode being one that had good points with some flaws, but not as many flaws as the others. And I'm going to say, I'm bracing myself for the reaction. Angels Take Manhattan. Asylum.
That one was pretty much on the floor for the rest of us.
Here's the thing, but that's the thing. That's because the whole season is on the floor to me, basically. But Angels and Asylum hold similar spots because they both had a lot of good things and a lot of bad things. I just feel the problems with Asylum were more widespread, whereas the problems in Angels, I feel, were more specific. So that's why Asylum is a little bit below Angels. Then Power of 3 just out of blandness, with dinosaurs at the bottom because I really just could not stand that episode. I did not see anything fun in it, and if you're not getting fun out of that episode, then there's nothing left.
Well, you know,
there were a few bits with, Brian, Rory, and such, but that was really all that episode had going for it.
You know, that's the thing. When I watched Asylum of the Daleks the first time, where I wasn't really critiquing it, I was just watching it, I enjoyed it. The first time I saw it.
If you can turn your brain completely off, Asylum is really fun, and Angels isn't necessarily fun, but if you're not thinking about it, it could be, you could take it as a good episode. But once you critique them both is when it drags them both down.
It was the second watch through where my brain already knew the plot, so my brain could analyze it. That's where it started to fall apart for me. Angels, I went into it and I hated it as I was watching it. The second the freaking Statue of Liberty showed up, my suspension of disbelief went out the door. I was already doubting the episode, and it didn't get much better.
See, here's the thing. This right. See, it's a little different because the way I saw it, the Statue of Liberty did shatter my suspension of disbelief, But then the second time I was watching, I was like, wait, we already know that there's a paradox, toward the end of the episode. Basically, the Statue of Liberty never became an angel in the first place. And therefore, I'm like, okay, we're basically looking at an alternate reality that you could because of that, you could kind of believe it because it's going to get erased.
It was the second watch through that the whole temporal paradox issues started popping into my head, and that just made me hate it more. So, I guess that's why Asylum clocks ahead of Angels in mine, because I liked Asylum when I first watched it, and it's when I started thinking about it that it didn't. I stopped liking it. Angels.
Yeah, I would say Angels has a few big holes versus having 1,000 tiny ones. It's like,
I don't know, Angels. I didn't like the incidentals. I didn't like the premise. The only good part about Angels was the ending.
I also, and this is one part where you're never going to agree with me, I thought River's role in Angels, except for, can go where the TARDIS can't bit, except for that, I thought her role in Angels was very good. And you're never going to agree with that.
As I've said, I've noticed it was more sedate than other things.
Right. But you also said part of the reason in your list why it went below Asylum was because it had River in it in the first place.
That's because the character has already been completely and totally ruined for me.
Right.
If they never had her come back for another episode,
which I kind of think that's why we went 4 episodes without her before she finally showed up again. They kind of realized we need to tone this character down a bit.
I hope so, because she has been so over the top that it's basically that character is ruined for me. So the second she shows up in anything, I groan. So yes, it does spoil the episode for me, because even if it was, and her role was more sedate in this, I'm expecting her to pull out the big ham. I'm expecting her to start eating the scenery. Yeah, I should be thankful my friend in the cosplay department has never actually done a River Song cosplay. Romana's fine. Romana's up there in my top 10 list of companions. Especially the second Romana. But no, River, no, not ever. I think we've said about everything we have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, well, I have a feeling we could probably go another 45 minutes once we get Flynn in here. But I'd say for tonight, we're done with this. We've gone for 3.5 hours minus probably about 30, so maybe 3 hours.
Well,
this episode's probably going to get split into 2 parts, but posted on one day.
Well, you might actually want to go through and see what you can cut out of this.
Yeah.
Because there's...
How much do we really... Yeah, I'm going to say...
10, 15 minutes talking about nothing. But tangent.
Yeah.
I think all of our...
You might want to do the uncut version as 2, and then give the boiled down tangent free version as an option.
True.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, this is a big flaw of me as an editor, but my attention span, if I've experienced something, I have a really hard time sitting through it just to listen to it and find things I want to cut out. My brain kind of just turns off. So the fact that I was here for the conversation will make it really hard for me to try and listen for things to cut out. But all right, everyone. This was an Unearthly Podcast, 5th episode. And Next week, we'll be meeting for something as yet unannounced.
We'll
Iron
figure it out.
Sky.
Consider it a mystery.